Welcome to EBMX San Francisco, and today we're going to take a look at a SurRon speedometer. And the reason why is because I have a SurRon. I've changed out the square wave controller to a Model X controller, which is a sine wave controller. And after the installation, I noticed we had no speedo indication. And so I thought the easiest way to troubleshoot it would be to replace the speedo. I did that and still had no indication. Then I tapped into the line looking at the diagram that Bruno put together, a very crisp diagram, and found that the yellow striped yellow wire coming off the harness that goes into a blue wire at the connector for the speedo. That's the signal input wire, comes off the controller. I intermittently measured some output. It was very weak, about half of a volt peak to peak. And when I hit the throttle, I can see it was a pulse width modulated signal, but it seemed half a volt is awfully weak on an electric vehicle. Shouldn't be that weak of a signal. So I replaced the speedo with another one, known good. Same result. Then I thought, well, maybe the signal, the harness is broken somewhere along the way. So I tapped into the wire leading to the first connector of the controller. So this is between the controller and the controller's connector, that speedo output. Same output, half a volt, intermittent, sometimes nothing at all. So then I took one of the speedos that was loose, the new one, and brought it into the shop. Here we are in the shop because I now know that it's a pulse width modulated signal, and I can recreate that. And what I found was that, let's see if you guys can see this. Maybe you can't. But what I found was that the actual current draw is 25 milliamps, 12 volts input. And I also discovered that the minimum peak-to-peak voltage for signal, useful signal, is 2.5 volts, not half a volt. So therefore, there's nothing wrong with the existing speedo or my new replacement. The problem is no output from or not enough output coming off the replacement controller. And it's the only X controller I have on hand, so I'm going to leave it on the bike. I don't care about the speed anyway. I'm riding on dirt. And even if I'm riding on street, I don't care about the speed. I don't need it myself. But somebody might want to troubleshoot this. And what I discovered, and I'm just going to plug in a function generator right here. I'll bring that into view. Let me back up here. Okay, so there's my function generator. And I'm going to power that up. Okay. And that's powered up. And what you're looking at is a 10 hertz or 10 cycles per second signal. And notice that the speedo changed to 1 mile an hour. And I can increase that frequency. And you can see the speedo indication actually works. I can go as fast as I want. But 26 miles an hour shows about a 200 hertz signal. Here, 26 miles an hour at 200 hertz. And I can go faster than that. I just have to raise the course adjustment on this function generator. There we go. Whoa. All right. So here we go. I'm going to increase the frequency. Let me just show you on the display. Whoops. Wrong control. There we go. So we're cruising along at 54 miles an hour. Notice that the pulse width modulated signal getting closer and closer together. The frequency's going up. And I hit about 99 miles an hour, and it's 862 hertz indicated. Notice that my odometer just jumped up to 580 miles. And the interesting thing is, even though the indication isn't there, I could greatly increase the speed, and my odometer is just now, it's at 581. I've got the world's fastest SurRon going on right now, and I'll just back that down. It's not going to hurt it, but it's interesting to note that the display caps out at 99 miles an hour, but the odometer does not. So I'm going to lower that speed down to something reasonable so I don't artificially increase my odometer. Nobody wants that. So I'm going to go down to 19 miles an hour. Now it's 583 miles. So interesting information about the speedometer. I looked all over the internet and I could not find any information whatsoever on the SurRon speedometer. So now I have enough information to troubleshoot future SurRon bikes going forward. Thanks for watching. This is ebmxsf.com.